Cheers and salutations. Welcome one and all to Chicago Reacts. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that ring bell notification. That way all of you are made aware when we upload new content upon our YouTube channel. And today, we have ourselves a fun video to check out. And it is titled, How is Warhammer 40k Darktide doing? Well, I hope it's doing well. I mean, hey, all games do have updates and changes here and there. And to the viewing audience, I'll just ask this question right off the bat. Has Darktide improved? I heard some rumors, some rumblings that eventually there's going to be new types of campaigns, new type of enemies, be it Necrons, Gene Stealers, other heretical forces, etc., etc. So, give me your thoughts, your feedbacks. Is there any kind of veracity to these rumors? Perhaps it'll be discussed more in the video. And again, this video is brought to you by Bricky. So look, folks, for all the channels that we have reacted to, the original link is in the description box below. So be a hip, cool cat, do the right thing, and support the original content creators. Follow them on all their social media. It's the one thing I would like you to do. It should be the correct thing you should do. So if this is your first time seeing their content and you're checking out our React video, the original link is in the description box below, so support them too. All right? So without further ado, since I'm in charge of the ones and twos, let's find out how is Warhammer 40k Darktide doing by Bricky, and let's play it in a 3, 2, 1.
Sometimes
delicious
food tastes pretty good, very yummy, but meal prepping it, not the best, kind of dull, not fun. So why not pay someone to do it for you? And
I know this is a commercial he's doing. On the one side, there's some truth to it, but there's nothing more grander than making your own food too. That's just my perspective. Both are good. Both are great. So yeah.
go ahead and check out this video sponsor, Factor. In fact, with fall now currently here, you can try all types of delicious fall options, all from Factor. They meet all the requirements you were hoping for. If you were trying to bulk, they got you covered. You're trying to cut, they got you covered. High protein, keto, doesn't really matter. Anything that you want, you can go ahead and get with Factor. The meals are super easy to make. You simply throw them in the microwave for a couple of minutes and you are done. There's no setup prep for yourself. There's not an astronomical amount of waste. It is simply a lovely container, microwave, done. You eat, you enjoy, and you become healthier that way. And personally, it's the best tasting meal prep I've tried. And if you want to try Factor yourself, you can go down to the description and go to factor75.com and use code Bricky50 for 50% off your first order. Factor75.com, link in the description, Bricky50 for 50% off. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video, and let's purge everything.
Yes. Purge everything.
Darktide. It is a video game. You can play it. I have made videos on it, both when it came out and also quite a few with my streams as of late.
Don't you just hate it when a beast of Nurgle blows its thick, chunky load into your healthy breakfast cereal?
You know, gosh darn it, Death Guard and Nurgle. Do you always gotta F up everything? Do ya? Do you always gotta do that? Yes, no, maybe.
Wow. It received one of its largest and most expansive updates yet that comes with major overhauls to the gear system as well as talent trees for each of the individual classes. The question has been posed many times. Is Darktide good now? But the problem with that question is that it's asking the wrong thing. It's not about whether or not Darktide is good, it's about whether or not Darktide is complete. Now, I hold the rather hot take that Darktide has always been a good game. What I'm looking for in the title just wasn't what everyone else seemed to have been looking for.
Okay, so hot topic issue question for the viewing audience. And I definitely want to hear more of Bricky's opinion on this, but for those who have played Darktide, how do you feel about it? Let's please be respectful to each other's opinions. Do you like it or do you don't like it? Are you in between? What are your overall thoughts? I mean, from what I've seen online, and not only from the gameplay and trailers as well, it looks. I don't have time to play video games. I'm so sorry. It's been a rough couple of months for your boy Kit Kat for a while. Okay, just. Anyways, I hope you're having fun playing video games.
Wanted a game with a great 40K aesthetic, solid co-op gameplay, and a general, yeah, I'll run a few games mentality to it. I was looking for 40K Left 4 Dead. I wasn't really looking for a live service, long-term grinding kind of game. So in a sense, I always got what I wanted. I played about 40 hours, felt satisfied, and put it down. To me, Darktide was always good. And if good is the wrong word, then I can say Darktide was always fun. Its issue was that it just wasn't finished. It was underbaked and it underdelivered. And it needed another full year in the oven before it should have been released. But those days are behind us. And the game has received its substantial new update. So how is it? How is the game as a whole now? Well, for starters, it definitely runs better than before. Optimization for the most part feels a lot better for me. And it's not perfect. I can still see it chugging during some of the more crazy parts, but for the most part, the game seems to be moving at a pace that is substantially better than it used to be going at. Visually, the game was always very pretty. Everything looked great and felt great, so keeping up with its design aesthetic is fantastic. I love to see it. It still might be the game that gets the Warhammer art direction done the best. Nothing so far really grasps the universe this well. Even though it's not necessarily an update, the fact that the game just runs smoother with this look is awesome to see. There are also some new weapons that were added to the game for the various classes. Not a ton, but since the launch of the game, there has been more, and that's good.
I'm loving this already. The Magnacore MK2 plasma gun, the heavy lapis pistol, the infantry las gun, the auto gun. Everything looks beautiful. The weapons are perfection.
Good to see. Also, a few more missions too, which is nice. 40K missions here in Tertium kind of look the same a lot of the time, but the objectives are different, and that is also, once again, pretty neat. But let's talk about the meat of the update, the class overhaul. Before, you just had the skill trees down the line as you leveled up, and that was not enough to make interesting and varied choices in the game. It works for a beta, not a fully released product. Now,
you don't mean no beta. Your goal is to get to alpha, then try and get to giga. But for those who wish to be supreme, you must become sigma.
each class has 3 separate trees you can go down. Normally, they go along lines of damage, support, and some kind of third option that is varied. Before we even get to the skills, I want to point out the artwork. Games Workshop is once again completely horrid at showing off the full artwork of their products or at crediting their artists, so all I can do is show you it via the in-game menu. But look at that artwork. Each of them is specific to that particular class gimmick. So you see the veteran, for example, you got the gun-toting version, the commissar/leader version, and the sneaky beaky like version. The zealot,
all right, the sniper, okay. That's an ogrin.
Ogrin, the psyker, all the art just bangs like it always does. Credit your artists, GW. Let them post their work, please, because this shit is awesome. That is
all right, audience, Warhammer 40K community, game. You know what did Games Workshop do now? Like, do I need to go and pour a glass of whiskey and just sit here in front of the camera and just say what they do now? What'd you do now? And why am I disappointed, Games Workshop? Why?
side. The way the skill tree works is that each level gets you a point. Then you normally go down the various trees to determine how you want to build your character. And let's take, for example, the veteran. He's classic gunman shoot guy, and also the Imperial Guard are extremely cool. Each tree has 4 main components to it, along with some smaller perks and other base stat upgrades. Those are your grenade, aura, ability, and final modifier. For the vet, his grenades are the Shredder Frag Grenade, Crack Grenade, and Smoke Grenade. Each of them have their own utility and function. Then you have your auras. This is always some kind of buff that affects those in your aura. Darktide really likes it when you stay as a team, so for the veteran, it's either damage, movement, or ammo replenishment. The big one, of course, is your skill. Much like the artwork above, each skill delves into a particular part of the Imperial Guardsman. You either have the front and center damage dealer, great at popping heads and just outputting efficient firepower. Then you have the commissar concept. I guess it's more of a sergeant, if anything, the leader, the born leader. They have voice of command, which pushes back enemies as well as replenishes the toughness of your allies. Then there is infiltrate, which is the sort of stealth mode that allows you to go about where you need and do the guerrilla tactics that a lot of guardsmen are known for. These can be upgraded in tons.
I'm sorry, but that beast of Nurgle looked like just one big withering piece of crap that it looked like a shite version of Jabba the Hutt covered in feces.
Of fun ways too, with various perks that affect your ability specifically. Voice of Command has an amazing ability that reduces its range but revives downed allies when used. Then, finally, you have the last modifier. This is normally just a huge bonus in some way, like massive damage or defense buffs or a crazy stacking option. Of course, despite each tree going with its similar vibe, left for damage, middle for support and tank, and right for movement, you can bounce around if you'd like and have additional points to spend even when you get your final option completed. So if you want a smoke grenade but still want to do volley fire, that's totally an option. The Zealot has a similar concept to them. There is a main charge move, a special defensive aura, and a stealth ability too. Little unsure why they have the stealth option when the Guardsman also has that option. I feel like the last thing a Zealot would be is sneaky unless you're doing like a Death Cult assassin style.
No, the reason why a Zealot is being sneaky is because they're working hard to be part of the Inquisition. No one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition. I mean, the Imperial Inquisition.
But I would have way preferred some kind of horde clearing option, something that goes into large multi-enemy killed swings or flamers or something. But yes, the Zealot has the classic watch as I run in and somehow kill everything I see in melee or just die immediately. The Overwatch Genji syndrome. The middle ability, Chorus of Spiritual Fortitude, is a really interesting one as a general channel support ability for you and your team. The Zealot truly feels like the so long as I keep murdering everybody, nobody can kill me. Nobody can be a witness if nobody's there to witness. And it's pretty fascinating to see how they go through all the options. The Ogren is also wildly changed in a lot of great ways.
By the way, much love to the Ogrens. And I'm very well aware, some people have asked, hey, you do realize that Warrior Tier did Ogren video for Sanguinella. I gotta get ready for that, because those Ogrens know how to pluck at the heartstrings, okay? Especially, I've heard some people say, hey, you should check out the Bob and Gav stories. And if that's what we should check out, let us know. Give us your feedback. That's fundamentally important.
Firstly, you have Big Friendly Rock, the best ability of the entire game. It replaces your grenade with a big rock. And it's just never not fun.
Yes.
Go get him, Brickle.
Yes.
I missed. Next thing I see is getting a rock in the face. I don't care what kind of enemy it is.
Yes. The Big Friendly Rock. The best there is. You know what? We're going to call that Big Friendly Rock Rocco.
Sup? You! Well, I don't want to do the Ogren grenade because I have Ogren rock. Beat scissors. He also has the box of grenades, but they always explode now. And then you have the nuke. If you thought like, oh my god, how could I ever not use the rock every single time? They somehow found a way by giving you the Ogren nuke. It's a gigantic bomb with an astronomical radius. It's so silly in the best of ways. Of course, you still have your bull charge, but
I think that's brilliant. You know, hey, there's big friendly rock, but then there's big friendly nuke. And big friendly nuke is everybody's pal.
you also have a massive AoE taunt ability, making you a pretty serious tank as well as keeping enemies off your team's backs. It's not as useful against ranged, but god damn does it help divert problems. Then you have your brand new point blank barrage. Basically, pull out your gun and proceed to never stop firing into the enemy. And the more you shoot, the better it is. And the more you shoot, the more fun it is. The Ogren changes are really good. I like them quite a lot.
Wait, we're watching that again because that was beautiful.
Pull out your gun and proceed to never stop firing into the enemy. And the more you shoot, the better it is. And the more you shoot, the more fun it is. The Ogren change.
Hold on, there's going to be a test after this video, okay? Remember, what did Bricky say about shooting the gun?
Blank barrage. Basically, pull out your gun and proceed to never stop firing into
Proceed to never stop firing
the enemy. And the more you shoot, the better it is. And the
more you shoot, the better it is.
more you shoot, the more fun it is.
The more you shoot, the more fun it is. All right. You'll be tested.
The Ogren changes are really good. I like them quite a lot. I think it has probably the most interesting build options out there. Varied and hilarious at the same time. Finally, the Psyker now has a million new abilities, but everyone has diverted themselves to the bees and the dogs with bees and the
dogs with bees in their mouth, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you.
Psyker has a lot of really neat new tools. Smite being one for lightning and the head pop still, but Assail is the obviously strong one, sending
Hold on. We're watching that again.
themselves to the bees and the dogs with bees and the
dogs with bees in their mouth, and when they bark, they shoot bees at you.
Psyker has a lot
So go ahead, Burns. Do your worst.
of really neat new tools. Smite being one for lightning and the head pop still, but Assail is the obviously strong one, sending out homing darts and just immediately killing everything they touch all throughout the map. It's so good that I think it's completely carried a lot of people to the higher levels, and so much so that I think it's become a crutch, because Psyker can actually put together some disgusting combos by stacking all kinds of buffs and bonuses one after the other, but it feels like it pales in comparison to just Assail spam, which is unfortunate because their update is probably second only to the Ogren's one in terms of great new additions. That said, Smite also seems really good as a crowd control option.
Crowd control.
That kind of gets into the team comp thing when you go to the really high levels, and for the most part it just seems like in your basic gameplay Assail is the big winner. I'd say the new class update is the highlight, obviously, but it's also made the game a bit easier than before. If you were playing a lot of level 3s and you're probably doing level 4s now, which is why they add a brand new end game mission called the Auric Maelstrom. All of the upgrades you get are also just really good and often flat bonuses between the super good ones, so you definitely have been power crept a little bit. The last thing that's been changed is the overall gear stuff. This is a good general change, but it's also it's a bit too complicated for my smooth brain. Getting a gun is one thing, but getting a gun with the right rating is another thing. Plus there is the perks, and there are levels to the perks, and you can replace up to 2 of the 4 perks in total, but in order to get fancy perks you need to dismantle the exact same weapon with the perk on it already, which makes getting a god roll weapon rather difficult to get unless you luck out, which sometimes you do.
You know what? Give me a melee weapon. I don't care. Oh shit!
Splendid.
Savage Sweep. Hitting at least 3 enemies with an attack increases your cleave by 200% for 2 seconds.
Beautiful.
Level 4 perk. Wait, this is really good.
But honestly, it's hyper-specific weapon perks that need to be removed to
Ah, the song of the Omnissiah.
and be added to a new weapon. It's just a lot. Now, I don't mind if they make it hard to get god roll weapons. They're called god roll weapons. They should be rare and hard to earn, looking at you, Destiny community. But I think some of the restrictions are a bit too much. It also creates a really bad leveling problem. At the time of writing this script, I have a total of 60 hours in the game, and I only have one level 30 character. I have another mid-20s, mid-teens, and around a level 10 final character of each class. Now, leveling wouldn't be as much of an issue if the weapons weren't so substantially worse before level 30. At level 30, they reach their max potential. So leveling up, upgrading, consecrating, all of that weapon option interfacing feels completely pointless until you are level 30. But getting level 30 takes a really long time. Now, they did make it a little faster with a new update, but it still feels way too long, considering you really don't want to waste your money on new weapons until level 30. It feels like it's not a game, then an end game. It's just grinding chore work and then the game. When you hit 30, you can mess around with your builds and weapons, and a whole new world tends to open up, and it's fantastic. But if you're a brand new person to the game and you hear you have to take around 15 to 20 hours of gameplay to get one character to the real game, it's pretty off-putting. Even if the gameplay is still rather stellar.
That is, that even caused me to be a little distant.
But some of the most stellar gameplay can still feel like it's a chore when the rewards are lackluster. So it comes down to the question again. Is Darktide good / fun / complete? Yeah, it's still very fun. It's a good 40K game with a great look and the gunplay is solid. Is the game complete? I'd say yes, but complete in a way how a full meal might not satisfy you. Like, you ordered a cheeseburger. You got the cheeseburger, but you're still...
See, that's false advertisement. So it's the cheeseburgers that you see with Burger King or Wendy's or McDonald's, because the pictures on the billboards look nothing like what you get in real life.
Kind of hungry because there wasn't a side of fries with it. You just bought the burger. And you thought that would be enough, but it isn't. So you kind of wish there was a combo where the two of them were together, but it's not. This is one of those hipster burger joints with the horribly awful like metal tall
Yes, I hate those
countertops and the rustic lights that sell you a one burger for $18.95, but not with fries. And they have home brewed beer at $15 a glass.
Yeah. Stuff like that's expensive, and you need money to buy that. And money isn't worth anything. I remember when money used to mean something. Do you remember when money used to mean something? Hey, but I'm a fan of homebrew, especially if it's a chocolate stout.
It's like that. There's a saying in game development I've heard every so often. Players are really good at knowing when something is wrong, but absolutely abhorrent at offering fixes for it, outside of small things like quality of life. I only say this because I'd like to offer some fixes, but I don't want you to take them with a grain of salt. I think Darktide just needs 20% more stuff. It needs 2 to 3 more weapons in the range and melee department for each class. It needs a bit more variety in its mission style. It needs another mini boss. It needs another like 3 assassination style missions.
Ooh.
It just needs a bit more. I think they should really go down the Left 4 Dead route. Darktide's story isn't even a story. Its writing is god awful, and it's just fluff cutscenes for the most part. There is no Darktide story. Don't let them fool you. But there can be. The little 5-chapter campaigns in Left 4 Dead would be perfect. It also would give you a bit more of like a long-term thing to do with your friends instead of just popping around for small 20-minute missions every here and there. Having a full 5-mission campaign would be excellent. Pick a spot in Tertium, go through your 5 separate missions with their own cohesive level design and narrative, throw a boss at the end, and bam! Little mission campaigns like that would do wonders for this game, would be absolutely incredible, and you can give out rewards for them. You can have a little contained storyline, a specific art direction of the area. It's a great maybe 2-hour-long session with your friends, because then it's a thing where you can all hop on and do this kind of campaign together. And as you go through the missions, you get better gear as time goes on. Simple on mission 1, beat the final boss, possibly hyper special drops with hyper special perks. I mean, you can almost...
That sounds reasonable. All of that. All that sounds reasonable.
Call it a raid, if I'm being perfectly honest, though it's a little bit different than that, I suppose, but kind of feels like it. Just there's so many stories that can be told in Warhammer, obviously, and having that kind of method, I think, would really serve Darktide well. On the other aspects of Darktide, non-gameplay related, the UX in this game, the interfacing, is downright strange.
It's a new weekly contract, but when did it reset? Wait. But I've completed missions 2 hours ago. You have to look at them first? Really? Oh my god. Why, when you go to this merchant, do you have it sorted by rarity low to high?
I just don't really get why this is the way it is. And it just, it needs a bit more. It needs a reason to own guns.
Hold on. I want to watch that again.
And it just...
Oops. Hold on. Let's watch that again with the crowd of Nurgle supporters getting jumped.
It's sorted by rarity low to high.
I just don't really get why this is the way it is. And it just, it needs a bit more. It needs a reason to own guns at lower
That was beautiful.
levels, or to keep them to upgrade later on. And oh my god, I totally forgot. If there's anything this game needs more than anything else, literally, if there is any change for this whole game, let me change my voice. They gave you a barber for your appearance, but holy shit, let me change my voice. I don't know why you won't let me, but the voices in this game are some of the best in any 40K game, and 40K games have some of the best VA work out there.
Stay close or die. Simple as that.
The Mystic Emperor has guided our hands this day!
Yes.
You should be more careful with those stray thoughts. I might get offended.
These are some of the best player character VAs I have ever heard, and the fact that I have to stick with one of them, especially when you've added a ton of brand new abilities with brand new voice lines.
Get him.
Is a crime. It is a travesty against the Golden Throne. Please let us change our voices. So yeah, Darktide feels complete as a game, and if it launched as it is now when the game came out, I think the discourse around the title will be a hell of a lot less. As of now, though, I still think it could use a bit more. But do I think it's still worth the money? Well, money worth is different, because what my money is and your money is totally different. I don't know your life, I don't know your time frame, I don't know the whole thing, yada, 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 but I will say I got my money's worth, because the amount of hours I had in this game, even when it was a lot worse way back when, still met the, the hour per dollar ratio a lot of people like to do. I don't like the hour per dollar ratio. I think it's silly, and it completely invalidates all kinds of single player games and the like, but I paid $40 for it, and I got 40 hours and then put it down. Now I have 60. So like, yeah, I think it's good to pick up. I think the gameplay is really fun. It's fantastic with friends. It just needs its edges sanded off and a side order of fries. And change the fucking voices.
Okay.
That's it for me today. Quick one, I know. Darktide update, whole thing. We're going into the fall. You want some merch? You see this thing right here? It's beautiful. It's got a very special edition of my boy on it. You can find it at orchidate.com. Also, if you see the product tab on YouTube, it's there also. You can probably click it from YouTube itself. They have that function now. It's really, really cool. From there,
Cool.
we got a lot
All
of
right.
stuff coming out this fall season. Always a big time for YouTube. Rogue Trader is December, and that's going to be very interesting. So we'll see how that turns out. Lots to do, lots to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Cool. All right, so let's unpack this. First and foremost, when we look at, video games, there's been an unfortunate trend, especially amongst more larger outlets. Bethesda. Sorry. What? I didn't say anything about Fallout. Did you? But nonetheless, Darktide, looks like a fun game from what I've heard from our wonderful Discord community, as well as seeing other videos that we've checked out here for Chicago Reacts. Darktide is a very fun, engaging story where you get to destroy enemies of the God Emperor of mankind, which is always glorious. However, to you, the viewing audience, because I'm pretty sure some of you have played this game more than I have. I've whopping 0 hours played, but it looks like fun, so I'm ever cheering on the sidelines because I just don't have time to play video games as much as I used to. Yeah, that's a thing. So what I want to ask you guys and gals is the game fun? Are you having fun with it? What are your thoughts of it? Let's be respectful to each other's opinions. I'm pretty sure we're going to have hopefully a well-rounded, meaningful discussion in the comment section below. So let's try not to destroy one another. Peaceful conversations, peaceful, please, peaceful. But also, what are your thoughts on Bricky's analysis? Because I think it's overall correct. You know, voice changes, maybe more missions, more stealth assassin missions, more weapons, just a little bit more fun. And I want to add in my 2 cents. I've heard some rumblings on the interwebs that there might be different enemies instead of the followers of Nurgle, like perhaps maybe Gene Stealers or Necrons. I mean, that would be fun. That would truly be fun, you know, seeing more enemies of the Imperium. So, yeah, just give us your thoughts. Type them in the comment section below. But besides all that, please support Bricky and his YouTube channel. Follow him on all the social media. The original link to this video that we reacted here on Chicago Reacts is in the description box below. So, peace, take care, and the Emperor protects.